Today's video is a little different. I usually try to explain what's in Scriabin's music and consider Scriabin's intentions, but in this video we're going to go over a sort of fan theory about Scriabin's 8th Sonata. I couldn't tell you where exactly this theory came from, but the theory is that Scriabin's 8th Sonata depicts the elements earth, wind, fire, and water. The disclaimer is that this probably isn't what Scriabin had in mind. This is more of a fan theory like Jar Jar Binks being a Sith Lord, or the dark side of the moon matching up with the Wizard of Oz. Scriabin certainly used musical motifs extensively in his work, and while attaching new meaning to his motifs might not be what he had in mind, it's a fun theory for us listeners to add to our imagination to enhance our listening experience. Let's break down which motif represents each element at the whiteboard. The first element we come across is fire, depicted with jarring minor sixth leaps. Then we have wind or air represented by the melody rising upward in thirds. This motif is the most clear representation of an element because we see the same figure throughout Scriabin's late era with the marking L or winged, which I typically refer to as the flight motif. In theme 2 we get earth and water motifs. The earth motif begins grounded to the focal pitch that it starts on. The water motif sounds the most like its element, with dyads flowing downward. For a while, these are the only prominent motifs used until Scriabin, with his occult mystical beliefs, adds a fifth element. Some might call it spirit or ether, but since Scriabin uses a similar motif in his 5th sonata, I'll refer to it as the marking he used there, which is mysterious forces. Whenever this motif is played, the overall harmony used is the bizarre 6Z44 set discussed in previous videos. Now that we know how the prominent motifs represent the elements, let's consider the journey the piece takes us on with this metaphor in mind. We can perhaps think of the piece as the story of the universe unfolding, or nature. The very opening motifs makes me think of growth or expansion. The world begins with expansion, bringing about fire, and air, and nascent earth in its simplest form. In theme 2, the earth starts developing with the help of water. In the development section we get periods of blissful paradise where earth and water reign peacefully. Then suddenly, a surge of fire and mysterious forces tragically takes over. This cycle repeats twice, which I can imagine as periods of stability on Earth before civilization descends into chaos. There's lots of play between the elements throughout the sonata. Scriabin held the conviction that the world would end in fire, and indeed the piece ends with rapid expansion before slowly burning out in flames with the fire motif. Does this interpretation of Sonata 8 seem plausible to your imagination, or do you have another interpretation of the piece? Share your outlook in the comments and listen to the piece with my video of the score with highlighted themes so you can tell when element themes are presented. Big shout out to the folks on Discord. We have awesome conversations about philosophy, classical music, and all kinds of things. So if you made it this far through the video, I'm sure you'll enjoy joining our discussions. Check out my course on composing like Scriabin. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and consider donating.